Welcome back. This is the Retail Therapist Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be bridging the gap between coloured people. We're going to be learning about the legacy of apartheid. We're going to be getting different perspectives and we're going to grow from this. I'm Kieron Chetty. My first guest is Tasneem Blamnik.
Hi. Hi.
We have Dawn Peterson.
Hello.
And our honourable coloured person, Tinashe.
It's good to be here, man. It's good to be here.
Okay. Tinash, we're going to start with you.
All right.
Tell me you coloured without telling me you coloured.
Ahoy. What's yeah?
Tasneem, tell me you coloured without telling me you coloured.
I'll be there now.
Dawn, tell me you coloured without telling me you coloured.
I'll have to think about that very carefully.
Coffee and cheese is a breakfast. Don't you think so? No? So we're going to jump right into our first game. So how it works is there are 3 balls. Each of them are either primary, secondary or tertiary colour. The primary colours represent a level 1 question, so that would be an easy question. The secondary colours represent like a bit more in-depth thinking. And the third question will be like a bit more of a personal question. So we upgraded this week. We have a bingo machine. Let's give it a good rub. And we have a blue question. So we'll start it off nice and easy. Tasneem, do the honors. You can choose either red, yellow or blue for primary.
Do I look like I'm a coffee or tea person? Sweet or savory? Gatsby or sushi?
Ooh. I think Gatsby, Full House Gatsby, masala steak. Am I right?
I actually don't eat meat, but I do occasionally enjoy the masala steak.
Yeah. That's a hard one. Okay.
So do you think she's a tea or coffee person?
I think she's a tea person.
I am a tea person.
I can see through people. It's one of my things. Yeah.
And what do you think?
Sweet or savory?
I think that she's a combination of both, sweet and savory.
Why do you say so?
I think that if she feels like having something sweet, she would. And if there is a savory available, she would have that as well. But I don't think there's any differentiation as which one she would really go for. I hope I'm not mistaken.
I'm more of a savory person because I've got sensitive teeth. But I do occasionally enjoy the chocolate.
Fair enough. Let's move on. Ooh. We have a brown one.
This question is, how would you describe me to a stranger?
Ooh. So, our first impressions to Nash, what do you think?
On how I would describe her.
Yeah.
I would say outspoken person. She seems quite outspoken. The first few minutes we've been together, you can say she's outspoken. So I'll probably say outspoken person.
Okay. And you?
I think she's a bit of a spicy person. She's got a lot of flair to her and a lot of stories. Her eyes tells a lot of stories. And I also think she's very comforting, but in a tough love kind of way.
If I had to describe her, I think... Have you heard of a cougar?
Yeah?
But she's more like a saber-tooth, you know. Like.
Oh, is she a cougar?
You don't go for younger men. So, yo.
Hey, man, I think your shot just went down the drain, bro. Let it go.
I see the Nash is making moves. The Nash is actually the ladies'
I
man.
let it go, bro.
The Nash is... No, I have to. The Nash has done...
I think every gentleman needs to be a ladies' man, just to put it out there.
So what does it mean to be a ladies' man?
I think to be a ladies' man, you just kind of need to be a kind person to women. Treat them nicely. If they need help, you gotta be the first person to stand up and offer the help. Doesn't really mean you're trying to take advantage or anything. That's my perspective of being a gentleman.
Okay.
And being a ladies' man. Not a womanizer, a ladies' man. All right? There's a difference, yeah.
And what do you think makes a ladies' man, Tasneem?
I feel like that's something very controversial because especially in this day and age, people interpret you being a ladies' man as a womanizer. And they would use the term, oh, he's such a ladies' man. Like, he's a charmer. He knows his way around the skirts. Things of such.
So, is being a charmer like a bad thing or what?
To a degree, but I think it really depends on the person that you are speaking to on the other end. Because I actually had this conversation with somebody about a week ago where we were talking about the different star signs and how some people take you as being, say for instance, I'm a Sagittarius. Okay, I am a Sagittarius. So people will be like, oh, you've got such a Sagittarius personality. Whereas like if somebody says, oh, I'm a Scorpio, they're like, oh, you're automatically a charmer. Do you understand? But it always depends on the person on the receiving end, how you are communicating to them and your body language and the tone in which you're communicating and your choice of words.
Yeah, of course, I think that makes a lot of sense. You're not going to go approach a stranger and then just start saying weird things to somebody you don't even know.
Okay, some of us might do that.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Okay, then that person cannot be a ladies' man or a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? That's a completely different type of person, in my view. So,
Dawn, what does it mean to be a ladies' man to you?
In today's day and age, even if you show any form of respect because of all of the problems that we have with sexual harassment and all that, so if you would go and you would maybe offer the door, as you would say, then it could be misinterpreted. So a lot of the men have rather opted for not interacting because of the misrepresentation and how it is used against males, especially in the workplace. So I love what he's saying about still opening the door, still being gracious towards a woman, which used to be in our generation. But nowadays, it could be perceived as he's hitting on me. And so unfortunately, for that, some of the ladies have decidedly made that strong viewpoint, and so they are missing out on sometimes when they could have a nice person around who is just wanting to be decent, respectful, and as models towards women.
Okay.
But because of misrepresentation and misinterpretation and everything else that goes with it, today they are sadly restricted from showing respect and good manners.
So what was a ladies' man back in your day? What was the ideal man when you were a young woman?
When I was a young woman, if the guy comes across, if he pays you a compliment, he says you're looking nice, oh, you're such a beautiful girl, or may I have a dance with you? It was not looked at and perceived the way it is perceived today. Now, you younger generation, you would understand that because I'm sure that you have experienced quite a lot of those situations. So it restricts you so much from just wanting to be friendly, just wanting to have a friend in the workplace even, So it's very difficult today.
True. A lot of controversy these days. There's a lot of controversies out there. There's cancel culture, so you can't even say anything as a joke anymore. Next thing you know, you're getting cancelled. So, yeah.
Definitely, you can't even pass a comment, or even if you say you're looking beautiful, so what's wrong with you? So that kind of comment, yeah.
Dinesh, do you feel like you're walking a line when you're at work or like interacting with women? Do you feel comfortable being a ladies' man?
See, at work, it's a tricky situation if you're at work. I guess it comes down to what she said, who's on the other end. How well do you know the person? How do you guys interact with each other? So I think it comes down to that. How's your relationship, like your work relationship? How far do you guys go, maybe with jokes even? So yeah, it comes down to that. Otherwise, if we just met, I'll probably just ask you work-related questions, that's it. And then keep going, But in a nice way at the same time, showing respect, not because I don't want to speak to you or I'm scared, whatever. Just, I guess it's a matter of avoiding unnecessary situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to hop on what Dawn said, she mentioned about back in her day what a gentleman was like. Although I wasn't born in that time, I have heard many stories from maybe aunts, cousins, older women, and they always said that and they always said that you would always find a guy. He would be really friendly with you and he would be like the perfect gentleman. But he would be that perfect gentleman to so many other girls. And I feel like that is something that hasn't changed. And it's something that continues. Because I feel like men, when they become parents, especially for boys, they kind of put in their mind that they need to be the perfect man. They need to meet that standard. They need to do these things and whatsoever. And when a girl does it, it's kind of frowned upon. So they celebrate when the guy has many girls that he's been calling beautiful or many girls that he's been taking out and things like that. But as soon as a girl does it, it's kind of like, oh, she's a whore or she's a slut, And I think that's really wrong because it's something that we can't really take on into the newer generation. And a point that I want to make also about the newer generation is that I feel like they are a bit too sensitive also. Because, like you said, there's cancel culture. So, if you're telling a girl now, oh, you're doing so good because you've got so many guys you're speaking to, they call it city girls, you're doing the most and whatever. And then a guy is like, oh, but that's like a slut or whatever. And then they are like, wait, I feel like I'm losing my point. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I feel like we are too sensitive and we're trying too much to be woke, but we aren't really woke about things. But we're trying to put out that we woke, like people that say they're non-binary or people that say this or they say that and the other. But as soon as you ask them about that things, it's as if you're being homophobic or you're being some kind of phobic.
Yeah. I feel like people will say they're woke. They don't really know much, to be honest, because like you say, when you ask them questions, they can't really give you straight answers. So it's like an escape for most people, just to avoid facing certain situation. So they use the woke thing as an excuse. So yeah, I do kind of get your point. And coming back to the boys and girls thing, I feel like boys and girls are we're different. This is my personal view. I feel like we're different. Let me make it like a stupid example, right? You dump a guy today, right? He might act all tough, whatever, but after a week, this guy's going to be sobbing for a good month. But then with the girls, you guys are just so strong. You guys handle heartbreak, in a way that boys can never do. So I would say there's subtle things that just or subtle things that makes you guys different from us. So for guys getting or speaking to a lot of girls, whatever, it maybe boost their self-esteem and boost their ego, whatever. Which in a way, not that I'm approving of it, is kind of necessary for a man to have confidence. If he's going to do anything with his life, he really needs to have confidence. Not just in terms of women, with anything, maybe work, whatever, a guy needs to have confidence. So it's for us, maybe to you girls, the stupid stuff that gives us confidence. And I feel like those things are actually quite necessary for a guy to become what he needs to be. And I would even say guy's supposed to maybe date 3 girls before he gets married so that he knows, you learn through a lot of things, man. You kind of need to go through stuff. Experience comes from learning, right? Yeah. So if your relationship is going to be good, you kind of need to have some certain of experiences. You can't just be born and then your first girlfriend, it's a wife. I mean, that's going to be one heck of a marriage. That's just my personal view. I don't know, man. People see things in different lights. That's just how it is.
So, Dinesh, what makes your ideal woman? What are characteristics that you look at? So give me a green flag and then give me a red flag afterwards.
Bro, to be honest with you, there's no such thing as a perfect woman, man. So you're just gonna need to get to a point where you kind of learn how to deal with things you don't like about a person, because you're never gonna find someone who just ticks all the right boxes. That's just how it is.
Okay, fair enough.
So everybody got green flags and red flags, basically.
Yes.
So what's a green flag that stands out for you?
Simply respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a red flag?
Disrespectful person.
Is this self-respect or just respect in general?
Nah, in general, and self-respect, that's a good question, actually, because if you don't respect yourself, you're never going to respect nobody else. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, it goes both ways. So if a person respects themselves, as a result, they're going to respect you as well and your decisions. And also, since they respect themselves, you tell them something, they can question it and ask you why and all that stuff. Not just follow along, you know. And red flags, yeah, like I said, someone was just disrespectful.
Dawn, what would be a green flag for you if you had to decide to start dating again?
Well, at this age, as you can see, it's going to be very hard to date. And I think that you've been through so much already that you can see green flags, red flags, pink flags, all kinds of flags. But for going back to the younger generation, in our time it was so much easier to date. If you walked into that time you used to have Bob Hops and all those kind of things. The guy that you could meet on the floor that night could possibly become your husband. The guy that you meet on the floor today could possibly be your murderer. So it's very difficult for the young people. That is how
It's a huge
awful.
switch.
That's bars. Bars.
And besides the guy, the woman as well. The woman as well. So there's lots of differences and there are lots of hardships and challenges that the generation of today has to pass through. It is not that easy. As I said, you can meet somebody today, that person can become your husband. I fully agree with him. What's your name? Tinashe. That the first woman cannot become your wife.
Okay.
Unless you are really at a sensible, strong age where you are sensible enough to make a decision. I also think that it is unfair to, if you've had one or two or three partners or boyfriends, to be regarded as somebody that is immoral, and your character is judged by the fact that you have had 3 boyfriends behind your back. And also I don't think in the rest of the world, I've been around to other places, but not long enough to sort of check cultures, but you have different cultures where a woman is still regarded as somebody that just needs to have one man in her life. She can't be divorced. She can't have this, that, and the other. But men, we need to understand that it's different. It's very different for them. And I agree with you. There's no perfect person out there. Relationships and marriages are difficult. You come from different backgrounds, you have different ideologies. No matter how on paper you try to tick all the correct boxes of the same religion, at the same university, both are doctors, both are this, both are that. But it is still difficult for 2 people to get together and make a combined life.
True.
Because we are so different in our outlooks, and you still have to be your own individual person. Yeah. I can't expect you to make me happy and I must make you happy. I must be happy in order to generate happiness. And only when I'm happy within myself, then I'm able to generate happiness and pass it on to the next person. But I can't go into a relationship and expect you, I want it all from you and you must make me happy. And possession and obsession and 24/7. I mean, it doesn't work like that because we all have a life. And again, it's built on mutual respect and trust and honesty.
Okay.
Between 2 people.
And what's a red flag that people should look out for, in your opinion?
It is so difficult because sometimes there are no red flags showing while you're courting. you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes during courtship, there are red flags. I think my opinion changed considerably towards men as well when I had a son, because then you're also looking at the fact of all these factors, and you're just not comparing boys to girls and girls to boys, you know. And it still remains a responsibility for the man to be able to run his home and to take responsibility as best he can, although it's a dual responsibility. But even if the wife is educated today, that you find all this education, I'm not gonna iron his shirt. Baby, do you know where my shirt is? Did I wear your shirt yesterday? Baby, will you please iron my shirt? I'm also working.
Yeah,
Those kind of situations.
that's the respect
you know?
thing we spoke about.
So it's not, is it love? Is it, what are your expectations? Respect, doing things together, all those kinds of stuff, you know. Then, yes, but we've got the nanny, but then I may as well go to bed with the nanny, because the nanny must iron my shirt, cook my food, look after the kid.
She's the wife now.
She's the wife now.
So I may as well just go to bed with the nanny, because the nanny's actually doing everything
Or all three of you.
for all three of you, you know. And so, yeah, so you got to work at it. Am I doing it for love? Love is still the main factor.
That's
Love is
sorry,
still-
I'm just going to have to pause
Yeah.
you there. That's what's a green flag for you?
A green flag. Somebody that smells good. Like, this person needs to wash and he needs to smell good and dress good. Because in my religion, we believe, in Islam, we believe cleanliness is next to godliness. And if somebody's exterior shows that they are clean, the interior will also be clean. And I believe that, you know, in the olden days, the people used to say, "Boe blink en onder stink." And I believe that, like, you can't mask things that's underneath. It will always come out. It's like a bad smell. It will always reveal itself, no matter how much perfume you're going to put on, no matter how much jewelry you're going to put on, no matter how many name brands you're going to wear. Your inner will always shine through. And therefore, I believe that, like, yeah, that's a green flag if he washes.
And a red flag?
A red flag for me would honestly be dishonesty. I really don't like dishonest people. Like, just not even for men, like just people in general. I feel like if you can lie to me, you can steal from me. If you can steal from me, you can cheat on me. It all just like, it's like a rabbit hole. Like Alice, like you just keep falling through that rabbit hole, down that rabbit hole, yeah.
So what does cheating actually mean? What does it mean?
I really like this, because I was actually following.
Or if you don't get caught, is it still cheating?
That's what I was about to say. I was following this trend where they were saying, like, is it cheating if I just say hi? Is it cheating if I just smile at the person? What is cheating really? I feel like cheating is breaking that boundary that you know your partner would not break. Because once again, bringing it back to Islam, and I hope I don't offend you guys speaking about the religion. It makes it much easier for me to explain and make reference of things. So we say, don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to yourself. So I think if you have that mindset, then that should define cheating for you. So I can't tell you, don't do something, and then contradict myself and do that very same thing, because I obviously wouldn't want that thing done to me.
Hypocrite.
Precisely.
But aren't we all hypocrites?
We are.
Like, I think that's one of the most liberating statements. If you just say, I'm a hypocrite. Like, that excuses anything.
Well, like our minister used to say, they always like to say at the church also, oh, the church is full of hypocrites, but there's loads of space for more. Loads of empty benches. So join us. Join us, because there's loads of hypocrites. So it's very difficult to define, because I think that there are issues when you cannot say it directly as it should be. I don't think that would be called cheating. You have to sometimes sugarcoat the situation, choose the right words, But yes, cheating in a relationship is hectic.
It's bad.
It's bad. And
It's a no.
Yeah, it's a no. And so yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what about a white lie? Maybe to protect you from,
I was actually gonna comment on what Dawn just said. Dawn just said of how sometimes you can't say things outright. So it would bring me back to the point of don't do things to me that I wouldn't want done. Like what I said. Because I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody and you honestly and most truly, like you love this person and you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, you should not be afraid to hurt my feelings. Like Kieron and I know somebody who would tell his girlfriend that she stinks and he would just hope that she'd be okay with it. Like, we need to have that kind of honesty and that kind of transparency with each other.
Wow.
Like I'm not saying don't do it in front of people, obviously. Don't, if we're in a mall and you're like, oh my gosh, don't stand near me, you're smelling or your breath stink or things like that. Tell me in a loving way.
You guys sure they're okay? You guys sure?
Let's move on to the next question, guys. So Dinesh, you can take a pink, or orange, or green.
I took a pink one. It's a long one. Is this your handwriting, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very nice. What one thing, bro?
Let me read it.
Wait. Let me try first. What one thing you want to let go of this year? Oh, okay. I guess what is the one thing you want to let go of this year? Write it down. Okay, I think it says tear it up. I don't know. You read the rest.
Oh, it says, what's one thing you want to let go of this year? Yeah. Write it down, read it out, and tear it up. You see, working with you makes me read your stuff quite well.
My excuse is that I'm left-handed, guys. It's tough out there. We're discriminated against.
Yeah.
So what's one thing you want to let go of this year, Dinesh?
Man, one thing I want to let go of this year. Procrastinating. But then I've been saying that though for a while. So
you've been procrastinating.
I've been on that vibe for a while. So I think maybe hopefully 2023 we can leave that behind, man. And then just do it. Like, just do it.
Just do it, boy.
Just do it. So yeah, I think let's go with that one.
Dawn?
Look, I'm actually a slave driver on myself.
Okay.
And very committed to what I always am doing. So I'm not there yet because I'm in the year. I'm only just started. But I think that I'm just going to take things more easier on my life and start enjoying life and just having more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what I think I would like to do with sorry guys, I know you're young, you guys still got to graft for a long time. But that is where I am now. I just want to, I need to have more, be more relaxed, stop working around the house, stop wanting to clean up and get on top of the roof. I still get on top of the roof.
What?
Check out the roof and all that kind of stuff and so.
Okay.
I'm also gonna let go of my side girls. She said that's a bad thing.
One thing,
So
Dinesh, one thing.
Okay, I'll keep my side girls. I'll keep the destination.
What's one thing you want to let go of, Tasneem?
The fear of expression. I feel like I'm a very extroverted person. But I've taken a bit of a back seat from that and I've become more of an introvert, especially when it comes to clothing. So this year, I started already. This year, I want to express myself more with brighter colors, with patterns, with things that can show me as an individual without me having to tell you who I am.
Let's go.
Oh, and also procrastination. Yeah, definitely that one.
On the same page. Are you an artist? Sorry.
No,
Okay.
I am an artist of life, though. My life.
2 snaps for that.
Nah, 0 snaps for that.
0 snaps for that.
What's one thing you want to let go of?
What's one thing? Relationships that no longer serve me. I feel like
Period.
sometimes we find ourselves in one-dimensional relationships and we keep giving and giving and giving, and that sometimes you just have to let it go. Like you have to be okay with moving on and like saying, maybe it's not my fault. Maybe the person just isn't ready to accept what I'm giving at this point in time. And I think forgiveness to yourself also for the person. So yeah, I think like one-dimensional.
It's getting deep now, eh?
It's getting deep now.
I'm avoiding it. Okay? I'm avoiding it so much.
So
Nice,
we
man.
have time for one more question and then we're going to have to wrap it up.
Okay.
After today, what will you remember about this experience?
How
a nice last
poetic
question.
is that question to end off this podcast?
Such a good last question. Ladies first.
Do you mind repeating the question, please?
After today, what will you remember about this experience?
Would you like to call a friend
Yeah, I would like
or ask the audience?
I think one thing I'll remember is that this room is really red. But also I'll remember the fact that everybody has got a different opinion on things and no two people think the same. And that's perfectly okay, because if we all thought the same, life wouldn't be interesting and life wouldn't be fun, because it is these controversial topics and these controversial conversations that we have that brings interest and it brings people together. Okay, sometimes it may tear people apart. Some people are just not built like others, and that's okay. We just have to accept that people aren't the same. So yeah, that's what I'll take from this.
Nice.
It's a great opportunity for me as somebody coming from the older generation to be rubbing shoulders with such lovely young people, and it's not easy. It's not easy being a young person at 2023. I want to congratulate all of you. I want to say thank you for your tenacity, for your striving. You've all gone through COVID. You've gone through having to do studies online. You're trying to study and do part-time work. So I just wish you all well. And thank you for inviting me. And I'm not looking at the age gap, but I wish you well, because I also want to say that there is so much that we as older people can learn from you guys. Don't think that it's not taken as serious and appreciated, because we don't have all the answers, especially for you guys today. It's tough out there. Life is tough. It's not easy. Thank you for inviting me. And also, yes, working on your outspokenness. You cannot expect somebody to go and tell them that they're stinking. You have to work on how you can say to that person, have you seen the Shield ads and all those kind of ads and with the gymming and all that, you know?
Like that's so much
those kind of
better.
ads, you know? So,
Yeah.
but you definitely cannot go and say to the person, hey, that Kieron, you better go and tell that girl that she's stinking. You better, it's not going to work. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, as for me, man, firstly, thanks to you, Kieron. You kind of brought me back, because as you know, I actually studied sound engineering for like 4 years. So being in here reminded me back in school, man, doing radio, film, post-production and stuff like that. So I guess after this, I might need to take my my degree seriously. Maybe go back into it again. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's like a good reminder. It's like a time traveling moment. So it's cool.
For me, the experience I'll take away is the star quality that I have around me. Like, I feel like I didn't miss this week. So I appreciate you guys.
Awesome.
So thank you very much, guys. This was another episode of the Retail Therapist Podcast. I'm not a real therapist. I can't help you. Only you can help yourself.
Ooh.
Safe.